say I'm giving
All
we giving away all the sauce
right.
for free.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Nerdcamp Sports. I'm your host, Roger Anthony Ali. I'm here joined by our co-host. We got Mike Williams. We got Will, soon to be joined by R&B. What's going on, fellas? How's everything going?
Can't complain, man. Had a little snow day today, so just
I think the sound went out. But go ahead. Will, how's everything, man, on your end?
Another beautiful day in the neighborhood, brother. Always happy to be here with you fellas.
Absolutely, man. Well, we appreciate you for taking this time coming out. And we're going to get right to it, man. We were just talking about it briefly before we got on the air. Man, Floyd Mayweather back at it again. He's got plans to come back and fight, I believe, in a couple of months or next month. I'm not 100% sure. But he's planning to fight Mike Tyson.
September 19th.
Mike Tyson, yes, in September. And he also got plans to fight in Pac-Man, Manny Pacquiao. So, Mike, what is your take on that? Because I know for a fact when he said he retired, he said that he's not going to relinquish his position as far as being defeated or undefeated. He's not going to put that up for grabs. So now he's saying that he's going to put it up for grabs, his record. So what is your take on Floyd Mayweather coming out of retirement officially?
Well, we got the Tyson fight in April, and that'll be what it is, right? And that's whatever. We're used to those exhibitions, those money grabs, but now we're talking about him coming out of actual retirement and having a fight that's gonna be I forget the word they used. There's a word they use when
Exhibition.
they say no, but when it counts, there's a word they use.
No.
I heard them say it before. But pretty much it's gonna count. There's a word they use for it in the boxing world. And I would say, he said he was retired. He said he was happy with his career, but you're happy until you're not. To me, one of two things happened here. Either he's under a threshold of money that he wants to have, which is a potential, right? A possibility. Or Netflix is throwing money around, man. And for anyone, anyone with a right mind, when you throw the right amount of money at a fighter, they're gonna take it. They're gonna take it. I mean, I even look at, for example, just to compare it, WWE, they started doing these Saudi Arabia shows. Some of those shows are more lucrative than WrestleMania. Shawn Michaels retired at WrestleMania 26. A few short years later, he was brought out of retirement. Him and Triple H teamed up as DX to face the Brothers of Destruction. We thought it was going to be one of the easiest, nice flowed matches ever. Triple H tore his quadricep 4 minutes into the match. Shawn Michaels, he was 10 steps slower. Kane and The Undertaker looked horrible. It was awful. And the four of them have admitted in interviews how bad it was. So, to me, could it be? It's one of those two things. Either the money, or he's going under what he feels is broke. Now, the other portion to this is they're doing Manny Pacquiao right away. And we know how Floyd gets down. Manny Pacquiao was already towards the end of his prime during the first fight. And on top of that, there was a shoulder injury of some sort that I remember. They were saying after the fight or right before, suddenly he had a shoulder injury.
Right.
So to me, I don't, oh my God, the first fight was what, 10 years ago maybe? To redo this now, I don't personally like it. However, I'm not going to sit here and be a hypocrite. In September, I'm going to sit there and watch it. I'm gonna sit there and watch it. I'm already paying for Netflix. You're giving me the fight.
Might as well
I
watch it,
mean,
right?
we gonna watch it. Like, but
Mhm.
that's my thoughts.
Okay, okay. Will, what is your thoughts on Floyd Mayweather coming out of retirement officially for this Pacquiao fight?
I'm actually more interested in the Tyson fight than the Pacquiao fight.
Okay,
Um, I don't. I so my birthday is May 4th, so
May the
it was
fourth be
my
with
so and Floyd was always fighting Cinco de Mayo weekend. So you know what I mean? For maybe about 10 years or so, you know what I mean. It was always a Floyd fight, and I threw a birthday party for the Floyd Pacquiao fight. You know what I mean? And Pacquiao looked washed back then. I don't know why I wouldn't really want to watch him now fight anybody. Um, Tyson, we know the last fight was I don't know what the hell that was, but I'm just a little more interested to see what Floyd and Tyson are going to look like. Like Mike said, I think Netflix is just throwing that bag around right now, and they just couldn't turn it down. Um, I don't think Floyd is going to fight like another 4 or 5 fights or anything like that. You know what I mean? I think he's going to come back and get this bag real quick, and then in another year and a half, we're going to be hearing that he retired again. Um, he ain't gonna step in the ring with Bud. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you that. He ain't gonna do that. So really, anything short of that, like I ain't mad at it. Get the bag, get the money. Like you know what I'm saying? I ain't never mad at that. But I'm not exactly like Mike. We gonna watch it, but it's gonna be more like the halftime show than the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna be snacking and eating my nachos and talking shit, and you know what I'm saying? Like and kind of aware of what's going on. You know what I
Oh,
mean? But it's not gonna be what I mean, like it was back in the day watching like real prize fights.
yeah,
Especially the era that I grew up in, man.
right. Now, let me ask you guys this question, and whoever wants to go first can go. But to put a bow on this, right? Do you think we're entering an era where we're lacking superstars? I'm not talking about stars. I'm talking about superstars
Mhm.
in combat sports like boxing and MMA.
Um, yes, to an extent,
And
um,
why? If you
and
don't mind
and
elaborating.
and also, I believe we're also lacking that in wrestling as well. Um, and wrestling and MMA right now are under the same banter with TKO. So at least WWE. Um, why? I just don't see fighters coming in athletes coming with the same grind. And what I mean is, you always had a guy come up that you could say, okay, this is the next guy. But people aren't they're not trying to fight as much. They're not trying to be in the ring as much. They're trying to really get a big fight and kind of not fight for a while. So I don't think the same passion is there, in my opinion. And I think now people's interests, it's hard to catch their interest and keep them interested enough to allow a star to build. You need someone who can just come in and kind of just take the world by storm in order to get
Right.
attention, right? Because once that person comes in and you've done something amazing, like let's say Floyd fights after this Pacquiao fight, because the Tyson fight won't officially count, right? So let's say after the Pacquiao fight, he fights a younger cat, up and coming cat, you know, and he knocks Floyd Mayweather out, something no one's ever done. Guess what? He's gonna get a lot of attention for that. No matter if Floyd's older or what have you, something has to happen to catch people's attention. And I just don't think that either they don't know how to put the right promotion behind the right guy either. Um, that's just my opinion on it. Like when you look at MMA, Like, who really is it now? John Jones is retired. Ronda Rousey, even though she's making a somewhat comeback, is pretty much retired. Conor McGregor is practically retired. Those were the faces, Anderson Silva. Those were the faces of UFC. And now, Frank Mir, Brock Lesnar, you know, that kind of thing. Like we're far from the boxing days, obviously, of Tyson, of Evander Holyfield, Lennox Lewis. We're far removed from that. So that's just my input on that question.
Okay. Well, same question. Do you think that we're lacking superstars in the combat sports of boxing and MMA? Mixed martial art.
Yeah, and I think it's a few different things at play. And I don't think
Okay.
it's just MMA or boxing either. I think more so boxing in particular. Um, Again, I told y'all I'm an '80s baby, so I've been through the era of Sugar Ray Hagler, Tommy Hearns, um, Julio Cesar Chavez, on to Roy Jones and Tito and De La Hoya and Floyd, and I'm leaving a bunch of people out because there was so many more people back then. I think that nowadays most supreme athletes, most top shelf athletes, even not just top shelf, most people who are really good athletes in a general sense are not going to lean into boxing or MMA. Um, a lot of MMA people, because for one, MMA is still relatively new. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
ain't been around as long as boxing and basketball and football and baseball and tennis and hockey and all these other things. It's still a relatively new thing. So we still find people that were a lot of people who were football players or wrestlers or like what I mean. They kind of moved in some other arena and kind of matriculated over there. So it's not, and you're not going to get like a even with not so much with boxing anymore, but back in the day, you know what I mean. You saw a Sugar Ray Leonard fight in the Olympics or a Mike Tyson fight in the Olympics or a Roy Jones fight. Like we don't really keep up with the Olympic boxing, so we don't grow with these people like we used to. For the most part nowadays, unless you are really, really what I mean, a boxing stand like that, you're not really keeping up with the up and comings anymore. You kind of find out about them, what I mean, once they kind of there, which is part of creating that star status. You know what I'm saying? Most people, we done kind of been with them for a minute. Um, Also with MMA, other than Bones Jones, I can't think of anybody who really had an elongated run at the top, like we think of when we think of boxers, basketball players, football players, baseball players, whatever the case may be. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? You mentioned Brock, but Brock didn't even fight 10 UFC fights, did he? You know what I'm saying? I don't think if it, give or take,
No, I don't
maybe.
think
You know
he
what I
did.
mean? You know what I'm saying? He didn't fight a whole lot of you, but he was the biggest thing in UFC. And then that ended real fast. Even Conor McGregor, he had what, maybe a 4 or 5 year run. Don't get me the line about exactly how many fights it was, but him is like being like a, front page kind of, you know what I mean, top story kind of dude, leading off Sports Center with his fight or whatever. That was about what, 3, 4, 5 years, something like that, give or take.
Yeah, Brock.
So the shelf
To
life
answer your,
in UFC.
to
I'm
answer your
sorry, go ahead.
question, no, just to answer that, Brock Lesnar had 8 fights in UFC.
Right. Shit,
Oh,
even
I'm
Ronda
sorry,
Rousey.
9 fights, and 5-3, one no contest.
Right. Because he got caught on the juice, right? You know what I'm saying? Even Ronda Rousey's run wasn't that long. You know what I mean? So I think it's a little harder to build like a true superstar in UFC. I think they might have to do it a little different than the other sports. And I think the other thing is, in the world we live in now, it's just so much harder to, you know what I mean? And I think Mike might have touched on that, or Rod, one of y'all mentioned it. Like, it's just so much harder to get people's attention nowadays because there's
Yeah.
so much more stuff going on. And shit, a lot of people care more about what people on TikTok is doing, you know what I'm saying, than an athlete, any kind of athlete, you know? And the world is so, like, everything is so polarizing. Like, pretty much everybody loves Jordan. Short of us sitting here in Detroit, you know what I mean? Maybe in New York. And it's still people, you know what I mean, in all these spaces that still loved Jordan. I was a Jordan fan until he, you know what I mean, was speaking ill of my bad boys in the newspaper and everything. That's when I, you know what I mean, gave up on him. But I say that to say he didn't have to deal with, and Kobe really didn't either. LeBron was like the first social media superstar
Yep.
like that. And we see how that is. Some people love him, some people hate him. Like it ain't really no in between with him for the most part. Super polarizing. And that's kind of what like the new superstar is. Not necessarily to somebody that everybody love. You know what I mean? Steph might be the closest thing to that. Um, you know, probably because Steph is, you know, he revolutionized the game and is, you know, Steph is 6'3", so he real life tall but basketball short. So you know what I mean? He kind of was like the underdog, you know what I mean? But it's so much, I think just in a general sense, it's so much harder to develop into a superstar, whether that's naturally, you know what I mean, authentically, like a Steph, you know what I mean, or somebody like LeBron, who I'm not saying it's manufactured per se, but from high school, you know what I'm saying, we knew who he was. And it was kind of, you know what I'm saying, everybody, I ain't gonna say he did exceed the expectations, but everybody kind of knew he was gonna go where he was gonna go, you know.
Right. Right. That's actually a good point. And it kind of put things in perspective that a lot of the superstar kind of feel kind of like died out during the time of social media. And I say that because like you just mentioned, Will, there's been moments where, there's viral moments that people have. You know what I'm saying? Like people can go viral off of certain moments, even in boxing. Like I remember when Wilder was a big thing. Deontay Wilder was huge because of his knockouts. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people were like bigging him up because of that. But then
Mm.
when you start boxing real boxers,
Right.
that kind of died out real quick. So it kind of just shows you that the social media part of it kind of kills uh, superstars, even in basketball, baseball, football, like those type of sports. We don't get those stars like we used to. Like you mentioned, get LeBron. He was probably one of the first in the era of social media to be an actual star that we witnessed from beginning to the end or beginning to now. So with that being said, it's kind of hard to really see any type of other superstars coming up after that. What's
But you
up,
know,
man? What's
look,
going on, RB?
what up, bro? What up, bro? I just want to before I lose this
What's
thought.
up?
Before I lose this
Yeah,
thought, I
go for
just
it.
cause viral. That's such a key word in this whole conversation because it's it's at the point now where it's and I'm not shitting on this guy because I'm a big fan of his, but like Kyrie, a big part of the reason that Kyrie is so popular amongst the kids is that when they watch his shit on YouTube, like they watch mixtapes. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? We used to watch the game, so it's like it's different what draws their attention nowadays. So even like it got to a point where people were saying Floyd fights was boring because he wasn't knocking people out all the time. You know what I mean? But it's like if you were, have been watching long enough, you could appreciate that. Even in the NFL, you know what I mean? I can appreciate a good defensive battle. I don't want every game to be 42-37. You know what I'm saying? But it's like these viral moments, and it's crazy because I've been thinking to this to myself lately, especially like with the Hall of Fame and all this stuff. It's like the older I get, not even on no hating shit, the harder it be for these athletes to impress me. Maybe
right,
because when I was younger, growing up in it, like you know what I mean, I looked at those guys like superheroes. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it ain't even on hating shit. Just the older I get, it's harder for a dude to impress me like that. I ain't gonna shit. No, if he got game, he got game. You know what I mean? I recognize and acknowledge it, but I just don't be as impressed as I used to be anymore.
right, right. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So R&B, man, what's up, man? Once again,
What's up?
um,
What's up? What's up?
so what is your thoughts about Floyd Mayweather and him announcing that he's going to fight Mike Tyson, and then also come out of retirement and putting his record on the line, fighting Manny Pacquiao, I believe in September.
Man, well, if y'all don't know, I know Will knows this. I'm a big boxing fan.
Okay,
I'm not a big Floyd Mayweather guy. Um, that's a story for a different day or a subject for a different day. But him coming out of retirement, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it's a thing where it's gonna be good for boxing, but it's the exhibition fight with Tyson is like, are y'all hearing that?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
I'm sorry,
Might be
but
me.
I don't know what that was. But the exhibition fight with Tyson, man, is like it's kind of like that Mike Tyson and Roy Jones thing where it's like, man, like we know y'all not about to really, it's just that it's a name draw, two names that they know people gonna tune in to see, just like that Jake Paul shit when they broke records on Netflix with that shit with him and Mike Tyson. I call bullshit on it, but apparently that's only supposed to be an exhibition, and then it's supposed to be an unretiring, supposed what they're talking about bout between him and Manny Pacquiao for second go round. Ain't Manny Pacquiao like a fucking senator or some shit like that?
Yeah, something like that.
He
Like these
basically like the president of his country, for the lack of a better term.
Yeah,
these motherfuckers are listening to a whole politician. Floyd
Yeah.
Mayweather is 50. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, it's a money grab. He must owe somebody. I don't know. It's like whatever. But the crazy part about it, with all of my response that I just gave you, we still gonna watch that shit.
that's it.
That's what
Exactly.
everybody
All of
said.
That's right. We still gonna watch that shit.
no doubt we're gonna watch it. And see, that's the thing. It's kind of like a catch-22 because a part of me don't want to watch it, but I know I'm gonna end up watching it, because it's gonna be on and it's on Netflix, so everyone got Netflix. So it's one of those type of things. But moving on real quick to the next topic, we're going to talk about. We mentioned about superstars. Now it's time to talk about superstars and fans actually coming out of pocket doing some ridiculous stuff. For those who don't know, Russell Westbrook's wife got some threats um, because of some crazed fan got the email and decided to email Russell Westbrook's wife and make some threats. So, Mike, what is your take on sports betting, banned sports betting, and family members or athletes being involved beyond just the game?
Well, I mean, sports betting makes things interesting for the fans, but it also makes them act stupid. Uh, him, involving, if you don't like a player or what have you or whatever, you never involve their kids, you never involve their wives. Um, and the player shouldn't get involved with the gamble, with the betting either, because it's not worth it. Like, you make millions of dollars. What the hell you gonna bet for, and risk it all? Um, so I would just say to keep it within the means of the game, and try to keep your family out of it. This isn't the first time Russell Westbrook's wife has been brought into something. I remember another situation a few years ago. Her getting for the same thing when he was with the Lakers. She was getting threats because he was playing so bad. Or he wasn't playing the way they wanted him to, or what, however you want to look at it. But sometimes you got to keep your wife out of that limelight and out of that scrutiny. It's easier said than done, but you got to learn to compartmentalize. Fans need to stop being stupid. Like, don't do stupid stuff. But fans do stupid stuff in hopes of getting a payout. It's like the equivalent, like I drive a truck, right? It's the equivalent of someone trying to purposely hit me because they think the company's going to pay them millions of dollars. It's the same thing. Fans go and try to do things to players or get them out of character because they are hoping that the player or the league will have to pay them a minimum of six figures to make it go away. So
Right.
that's my thought on that.
Okay. R&B, what's your thoughts on the situation with Russell Westbrook, like, and the Creighton's fans?
Man, I'm gonna be honest. That's what I call a slippery slope. and 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 the reason why is, man, look, I mentioned this earlier in a conversation with Will, but this whole thing, and I don't know if you guys remember, but I've mentioned this before on here, like with Raj and Mike.
Mhm.
It can get real dangerous when it comes to sports gambling and players and fans,
Mhm.
because the whole situation is because of him. Not, I think they had him at a uh, over under 10 points and he couldn't get 10 points. So part of the email saying something about, saying he couldn't even fucking get 10 points and blah, blah, blah. So it's like, and we talked about this on this show before.
Mhm.
Of course, none of us could prove it. I can't prove it, but let's be 100. Some of these players are working with Vegas, bro.
Oh yeah.
Like, let's be honest, these leagues are somewhat working with Vegas when it comes to this betting shit, and that's why I say it can get real, dangerous, and what I'm saying, because you playing with people, you could be playing with some crazy motherfuckers. So if a motherfucker can get an email, they can get more. I mean, we've seen them get people's addresses and stuff, not just athletes, celebrities, period. Addresses get exposed. And if I'm not mistaken, at one time somebody defamed property at one of LeBron James's homes. I think the one in LA where they wrote, the N word on there on his gate or something like that. So like these people be crazy, man, and they find certain stuff out, and they'll, it's people crazy enough that, and then they be out here irresponsibly gambling. So I'm not, I definitely don't want to take the shine off of the idiot that chose to do this by, by making it seem like I'm trying to take up for him, because at the end of the day, a grown adult, that's some idiot whole ass coward shit to do, especially emailing someone's wife. But I'm just saying that it could get dangerous when it's believed, and I quote, it's believed that the leagues are working with these betting sites, what I'm saying, and people are placing bets, and you got addictive gamblers out there. It can get dangerous. That's all I got to say about it.
Okay. Okay. Well, what's your take on it?
Um, so I definitely believe that it's players out here, you know what I mean, doing dirty shit. But l- let me ask you a question, Ryan. When you say Vegas, do you mean like the casinos and or the, you know what I mean, the sports bet sites, or you just talking about like the shit Chauncey caught up in right now? You know what I mean? Like some
All,
Gambino shit.
all, all of the above.
All of the above.
Yep,
Mhm.
all of the above. That's why I
Yeah.
don't think it's just. I think it's a sprinkle of players, but I think it's also some higher ups involved in some shit too. Dare I say, maybe some ownership, maybe some GMs, some presidents. You know what I'm saying? Just speculating. Just speculating.
I mean, shit, you know me, I don't put nothing past nobody. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So she remember Ursay, the guy who used to own the Colts before he died, but he got found
Hmm.
with the basically the motherfucking the whole plug supply. You know what I'm saying, in his car,
Yeah.
all kind of pills and all kind of shit as an owner.
Yeah.
And Kraft got caught getting his dick tugged. You know what I'm saying? The week of the Super Bowl. So you know what I mean? Shit. Clearly, it's owners out here. They're getting the shit too. Um,
Hmm.
I don't think any of that gives anybody the right to do what my man did, and you know what I'm saying. Find this woman email and threaten her, and like This shit is it's just crazy. Like because even if the league, like even before the league was in bed with like these sports bet sites and all of this, like all of this shit was already happening. People was mad about they fucking fantasy teams. You know what I'm saying? Or
Mhm.
whatever bet they made at whatever casino. Especially once
Mhm.
gambling became legal, you know what I'm saying, in more and more states. So like it's becoming more prevalent. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, but it ain't nothing new. Shit like this, you know what I mean, been happening a long time. Not just the best shit. There was a couple of pictures about a month or two ago that you know what I mean. They said they were under investigation for what I don't know what the hell they did or how they did it in a baseball game. That shit is beyond me. But like it's you know what I mean. I don't think it's just gonna be basketball. I think you're gonna start to see more and more of it in all of these different sports.
And that's what I mean.
Yeah,
That's what I mean when I say it could be a slippery slope. Like with all of that shit. It's because you don't know who we just don't know. And like Will said, you can't put nothing past nobody, and if you can't put nothing past nobody, and we don't know, that leaves speculation. That leaves the room for speculation.
I mean, but it's done been plenty of like gambling scandals and point shaving scandals and
Hmm.
all kind of shit across sports
Yep.
since shit before
Hell
I was
yeah.
born. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah.
So
It's been some notorious NCAA
yeah,
March Madness
yeah.
point shaving scandals in the past.
oh yeah.
Notorious ones.
And the most famous one is Pete Rose, but shit, like it's done been plenty of them. It's been all kind of shit.
Hmm.
And just to add to it real quick, just to give my take. Honestly, I mean, because even now, like when you watch these commercials for these like sports leagues, like, especially NBA, the NBA literally got a live betting in the bottom of the screen saying, okay, the over and under is this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they're giving out information because they're in bed with DraftKings, they're in bed with FanDuel, they're in bed with these gambling companies. But honestly, in my opinion, and I pray it doesn't happen, but the way it's going, I think they're going to take away uh, individuals over and under. Like I think that's going to go. I think they're only going to allow teams to be betted on versus the actual individual because someone's going to end up getting hurt really bad or even killed. And I pray it doesn't happen, but the way that it's going and the craze that people are willing to go to just to get their point across is absolutely absurd. It's almost psychotic. So I think in the next couple of years, they're probably going to sit at the table and like, listen, we might have to take away the player props and just focus on either the team or focus on something else where it's not so uh, directed at a certain player. Because even though this has been happening for decades or even a century, even though this has been happening, and as long as there's fans, there's always going to be some type of money inside side type of betting going on. I think it's more targeted now more than ever because it's more popular rise more than they ever been because of the leagues are pushing for their own interest. So yeah, that's my take on that.
Okay, okay.
Next, we're going to talk about since we touched bases on Russell Westbrook. Let's talk about the Lakers real quick. The Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, they just got their ass kicked by the Boston Celtics. That's pretty much playing with a G League team. The only person on the team that's recognized is Jaylen Brown. Um, and LeBron was playing. Austin Reeves was playing. Luka was playing. Everyone was playing. Even players like Aiden
We're
was going off.
Vanderbilt.
Yeah, everybody played that was healthy on the Lakers, but they still end up losing to the G League Boston Celtics, who's supposed to be on a down year. So, Will, what is your take on the Lakers and where they are right now with LeBron?
Um, I wouldn't bet on them to win the championship. I think they can be competitive. Wouldn't surprise me with Luca, LeBron, and Austin Reeves all healthy. That's one of the things. Like, their record is what it is, and they don't only play 10, 11 games together so far this year, or something like that. Um, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't trying to like not answer the question. Like, the jury's still kind of out for me. If they can get healthy, if they can get right, let me say if they can stay healthy. Um, like I said, would not surprise me with them in the playoffs. Wouldn't surprise me if they went out in the first round. Wouldn't surprise me if they made it to the conference finals. Like I said, wouldn't bet on them winning a championship, but like with Luka, Brian, and Austin Reeves, anything is possible. I just think they're not gonna be able to solve that defense. You know what I'm saying? Before the end of the season, if they're gonna go out, they're gonna have to go out firing. You know what I mean? They're gonna have to outscore teams. Because like teams with like real perimeter weapons get them real problems. And in the Western Conference, you know what I mean, whether you're talking about Shea, you know what I'm saying, out there, whether you're talking about KD, you know what I'm saying, or whoever you won't have to see out west, for the most part, it's gonna be somebody, you know what I mean, that got a killer out on the perimeter. So I don't know what they're gonna do, man. Like I say, it's really like a roll of the dice with them. Like nothing would surprise me at all.
Okay. Okay. Mike, what is your take on the Lakers and LeBron and the direction that the Lakers are going?
Pathetic. Pathetic. Because you bought Luka there to win. That's not happening. That's why you brought him there. You got rid of Anthony Davis and it was a dumb move on the Mavericks' part. Still, they're the bigger idiot. But I'm looking at them sitting here at 34 and 22 in fifth place. And Phoenix is 33 and 25 in seventh place. So that tells me that this team is still, on paper, has a chance to be a play-in team. That is an issue. Now you're looking, the Rockets are 34 and 21 in fourth place, and Denver's 36 and 22. The Lakers don't have the size to compete with the likes of San Antonio. They don't have anyone who's going to handle Sangoon if they were to run into Houston. And OKC can outplay them up and down. Will they be competitive? Sure. But I just don't see it. And the reason I say it's pathetic is because we know this is the Los Angeles Lakers. This is one of the most storied franchises in all of sports. And arguably, depending on how you look at it, I would say 1A, 1B, Celtics and them, no matter how, based on your opinion, right? So there's an expectation, and they're not meeting it. LeBron James has been there now, 6 or 7 seasons? Has bought a 1 championship with an asterisk next to it. So to me, it's pathetic. It's pathetic overall. Not saying they can't win or they can't compete or, God forbid, an injury works in their favor. But it's just not good. And to Will's point, when they're really just really never fix the defense. Like you got teams that know their problem and just don't fix it. And that's in all sports. Like a prime example of that is the Cincinnati Bengals. Their O-line is Swiss cheese, and they refuse to fix it. The Lakers' problem is defense. They refuse to fix it. Until they can do that and fix their defensive side woes, they're not going to do anything. They're going to stay in this weird 4 to 6 range and potentially get bumped in the first round. And if they run into your San Antonio, your OKC, or your Denver, Maybe even your Houston. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad for him. That's my take on the Lakers.
Okay. All right. RB, what's your take on the Lakers and LeBron situation?
Ugh.
Um, I stand firm where I've been for a minute, man. I'll be honest, I feel like the Lakers should have traded LeBron. Um, I know I'm not the one running the franchise, of course. It's Palinka, that he's the GM. If I was GM in the Lakers right now, y'all just have to call me an asshole. But if I could move LeBron, I would have moved him. I'd have picked up the phone for Golden State or any of those teams that was calling. If the deal was right, I would have moved him because I think it's obvious at this point. I don't think LeBron wants to be a Laker anymore. I don't think he feels truly appreciated as a Laker player. By by some of the fans, but by the franchise itself. Um, I think that he feels a slight blindside by the whole Luca thing, being that is that they basically have went in the way of where it's like they're trying to hand the reins of the franchise over to Luca now. He has spoke out publicly, kind of like promoting that he is, cool with that, but he's also said things publicly that kind of made you question whether he was being legit when he approved of it. So I just feel like they kind of winning in spite right now. A lot of the winning that they did was on the back of Luka and Austin Reeves when LeBron was out, and it's like when LeBron got healthy and he came back, they were kind of in a small disarray. But then Lucas started missing games. Austin Reeves went down. So what I'm saying, like Will said, they really have only played like I think 11 games as a whole together, uh, all three of them so far. But I think everybody so far has had valid points that were right all around because just like Will was correct on that aspect, I also think that Mike is also correct on the aspect of if they run, once they run into OKC, Denver, San Antonio, Houston, uh, shit, hell, I'm gonna throw Minnesota in there because Minnesota bounced their ass out last year.
Last year, yeah.
Let's not forget about the fucking Rudy Gobert's own slot. Like what the fuck was that? So and I just and that's why I say I probably would have just went on and moved LeBron at this point because I feel like they in a situation where I just don't see it. I see them being competitive, but to be competitive and lose in a 5-game series or maybe a 7-game series again in the first round, at this point it's stagnant. And you made the move to get Luca to try to keep this thing in the winning direction where you could try to transcend shit from LeBron to the Luca, phase. And then hell, all of a sudden out of nowhere, you get this whole nother level of Austin Reeves this year. So it's like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Let's see what we got with this. Let's see what we can build with this. And the best the best building tool I felt like would have been to trade Bron to try to get some youth, try to get some of them young defenders and get some draft picks and stuff like that because they defensive woes are absolutely terrible right now, man. Like they can't defend worth for shit, and then they don't even really try to defend worth for shit. Like your best 3 players give lackluster effort on defense. So what do you think the other players gonna do? Just about 3 years ago, before he was hurt for damn near a whole year, and we were wondering if he was ever gonna play basketball again because it was an APB out for his ass. Jared Vanderbilt was considered one of the better wing defenders in the league. And we just need Jared Vanderbilt to get healthy. Where Jared Vanderbilt been healthy for a while now. And the defense is still absolutely hot garbage. because they follow the lead of the best 3 players who don't play fucking defense. So and then everybody thought that the DeAndre Ayton shit was gonna be. This dude was a #1 overall pick and been to the finals, and at this point is now a journeyman. So I don't know why everybody was so happy about that signing because I wasn't at all. We know who DeAndre Ayton is. He's a half-ass, non-hustling. I never forget watching Joker beat him down the court in the sprint. That told me everything I needed to know about DeAndre Ayton once I saw that shit. Nikola Jokic beating this nigga down the court in the sprint. So yeah, man. At this point, like, yeah, the Lakers are. I'm wearing this T-shirt, man. Kobe rolling in his grave right now, looking at this shit.
Well,
Uh, like, well,
I,
it's a few things like we're trying to trade Brian though. For one, he got a no trade clause. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Does
got
he?
to be somewhere that he's willing to go. You know what I'm saying?
well,
We can work that out. We can
I'm
work that
glad.
out.
Not,
I'm,
and I agree that I don't think he wants to be in LA, but I don't think he ready to leave just yet. I don't think he want to get traded. I think he want to leave on his own terms. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think they want him there at this point either.
no, they don't, and that's kind
And,
of going. Oh, go
and
ahead.
mind you, my bad, Raj. Real quick, I was only speaking from reference of like if how my mind thinking if I was running it. And
Mhm.
I'd be willing to sit down and have that conversation. And if we can't come to a mutual decision on somewhere like that he want to go, that I feel like they not giving me enough back for what I'm giving them, which is all time great, then hey, you gonna play the rest of this season. But you know what I'm saying, if I can make a move where I feel like okay, they giving me this young guy, and they willing to give me a couple picks, this might be it. And this is
I don't think
somewhere
you're
he
getting
want to
all that
go.
for. I don't think you're getting all that for Brian right now for a rental for the rest of the season. Cause you know what I'm saying. You can like it ain't no guarantee he gonna stay wherever you trade him, and you got to make salary match. Like it's a lot of. That's what I'm saying. It's a
I
lot.
think you can.
I think in a vacuum, like I agree with you. You know what I'm saying. All things being equal, but like the actual mechanics of trying to make that trade. Cause it wouldn't surprise me if those conversations did take place and they just couldn't find, you know what I mean, a trade that worked. You know what I mean? Because nobody is gonna give up a whole bunch of, 2, 3 young prospects and picks for was he 41 now, 41-year-old Brian, you know what I mean, for the rest of this season, you know.
Well, I'll say
They feel
this
like they
real.
can win the championship. They will, because look what Houston just did. Now I know KD ain't 41, but he is 37.
Mhm.
But I'll say this, guys. The Lakers. I look at this situation like this. This is a gap year for Luka and what he needs to do with the Lakers. And the reason I'm saying is because last year when he got traded, it was in the middle of nowhere. No one expected it. It was just out of nowhere this happened. And we knew this was going to throw the whole situation off with LeBron. AD was gone. LeBron was there by himself. There's no help really. But I'm gonna tell you like this: Rob Pelinka is quietly forcing LeBron out the building, and so is and so
Genie
and so
Bucks.
is and so is Jeannie Buss. And you know what they're about to form? They're about to form the Lake Street Boys. They're about to form the biggest boy band to hit the road in the NBA. Let me break it down to you. You got Luka Doncic, you got Jacob LaRavia, you got Austin Reeves, and you got Luke Kennard. All of those dudes are part of the Lake Street Boys. And if you want to throw in the coach, you want to throw in JJ Redick as one of the Lake Street Boys, go right ahead. They're about to build this team around Luka. This team is
As
not
they should.
LeBron's team anymore. This is the most mayonnaise team we're going to see in the NBA. And I'm going to tell you what they're going to do. They're going to force LeBron to go back to Cleveland. They're going to force LeBron to go back to Cleveland, right? They're going to find a way to go get Jared Allen. Salary, I don't know if it matches or not, but they're going to find a way to go get a real center. And then they're going to find a way to go get Keon Ellis for a wing defender. That right there will solve every problem they got because LeBron and Luka never matched in the first place. They're the same type of player. They do not match. LeBron played 34 minutes, only scored 20 points. Luka played 33 minutes, scored 25 points. But guess what? They play the same style of basketball. So it's almost redundant to keep them on the same team. So I honestly see. Go ahead.
Brown about to be a free agent, so they can't
Yeah.
they can't trade him. You know what I'm saying? They can't force him to do nothing. He about to be a free agent, and if he decide to play again, he gonna sign wherever. You know what I mean?
Well,
He signed.
and that's even better because now that's less.
Well,
That's less.
I don't think LeBron gonna go back to Cleveland though. I did have that notion at one point, but once they made that move for James Harden, indicating that they gonna pay James Harden, that kind of closed the door on that chapter. I think. I don't think it's a reunion. I don't think it's a reunion happening there. I got a surprise one for you.
Okay.
I just got a text from one of my homeboys. He said that he believes that LeBron James will go to the Washington Wizards.
Oh no, I don't want to see that.
He believes that the Washington Wizards are positioning themselves to make a max offer to go after LeBron James to reunite him and AD. Uh, because they never wanted to be separated in the first place. One, and the reason he says it in the text is because LeBron just spoke out the other day about he was basically speaking in the media up in Washington's general manager, saying that he likes the moves and so on and so forth. And we all know with LeBron, he can be a little bit cryptic. You know what I'm saying? He does that type of shit. He can be a little cryptic. So,
Right.
that's
Okay.
one just my boy just threw out there. That's
It's
watching.
possible. It's definitely possible. Shout out to you who's checking out the show. Appreciate you. It's definitely possible. We'll definitely see because we're entering that time period. Like you said, Will, he's free agent. He can go and play for whoever he wants to. But like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back to Cleveland, plays alongside Donovan Mitchell, plays alongside James Harden, and try one more time to go out there and get this ring. I don't know how it's going to be possible as far as cap space, but he'd probably sign for a bag of chips at this point just to win another championship before it's all said and done.
Hey, look,
Yep.
real quick, real
Sure,
quick.
go ahead.
Do y'all know how funny it would be and how spiteful I think it would be from him personally in his mind, how he would look at it if LeBron James was to sign with the Washington Wizards and
That would
deliver
be hilarious.
an NBA championship there. If
When
it, like,
Jordan
let's say if him and when Jordan couldn't, think about it.
I didn't even think of that part.
hey, look, we
Oh man.
me and Ryan was having a conversation a little while back, and because this was I think around the time maybe last year when Golden State inquired about trading for LeBron and he turned it down. And Brian was asking me like, where do you think they would play together at if you know what I mean? And I really kind of thought that I did this whole I thought it through. I went on a trade machine and looked at everything, and it's like Chicago. Like it wouldn't surprise me if LeBron went and tried to win a ring in Chicago. I see Chicago.
Oh,
They finally tore everything down. They gonna have the cap room. They do still got some nice young pieces over there. I'm not saying it's gonna be this summer, but it wouldn't surprise me if Brian wound up in Chicago at some point for a lot of the same reasons that Ryan Boy is talking about him going to Washington. I know he
yeah,
would love to go to Chicago and get a chip, but I think it might be him and somebody else.
definitely possible. I can see it. I can see it. But you know what? I hope that he picks the team that that he can win a championship with. I don't want to see him waste his last year playing alongside Josh Giddey. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need something, man. I need something because you know
Josh,
Washington.
nice, bro.
Yeah, no, he's good. He's good. And I use his name because he's the only one I can recognize on the team because they got like 15 guards. You know, they just
Again,
picked
though,
off.
I don't know if Josh Giddey really got the type of game that would fit next to LeBron.
Nah,
I think a younger, healthier LeBron and Luca could definitely play together.
Yeah, they
I
could.
don't think this
He'll
version
adjust.
of LeBron right
This
now, you know what I
version of
mean?
LeBron right now, yeah.
He's stuck in his way.
But I agree, a
Anthony,
younger LeBron that could kind of turn himself into what he did when he went to play with D Wade.
Yeah.
Like,
yep,
yeah.
yeah, that'll work. That'll definitely work. So moving along, we're gonna talk a little football real quick, and then actually, you know what? Let's cover this football topic. We're gonna talk about the Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs said that they're monitoring Tyreek Hill's situation. Now we talked about it last week. Tyreek Hill being released from the Dolphins. So, Mike, what is your thoughts on the Chiefs monitoring the Tyreek situation?
I think that for them to do that, they're kind of gonna find themselves in a stagnant situation. If you have Tyreek Hill return, I'm not saying he can't be useful or effective, but you have him and you're gonna have Kelsey. Obviously, you have Mahomes. He's there. You'll always have a chance, or you'll always be on the spectrum of it. But I don't know, kind of like we were saying last week, and just thinking about what we talked about. I don't know if this moves the needle. I forget who said it. It might have been you, R&B, that talked about him
Yeah.
being older, that talked about this injury being catastrophic, and that he's going to lose a step. He's not going to be that same player. Like I said, he'll still be effective. I mean, I think on paper it sounds great. Like, you know what I mean? He was a big part of the 13-second game, right? That Buffalo fans will never ever live down. Um, so I think that in a sense, if you're not going to draft someone or you're not going to find a free agent that's younger, um, I don't see why not. But I personally think, while Patrick Mahomes is entering his prime, or he may already be in it, depending on how you measure primes. You want to get a little younger, and someone who hasn't had a catastrophic injury, preferably. But I don't hate the move, but I don't like the move either, if that makes sense.
Okay. So, R&B, what's your take on the Chiefs and Tyreek Hill situation?
Not surprising at all. Not surprising at all to hear them say that. They probably, just want to keep close by. With the technology and everything that we have today, let's remember people are returning to, rare form that, these days with the surgeries and the technology and stuff that they're able to do. So I'll say this, and I'll go out on a limb. It wouldn't surprise me at all to see Tyreek Hill return once he's 100% healthy and get right back to doing what he's always done. Because if you saying a
Right.
dude that could run 32 miles per hour is now gonna more so be around 27, 28. What we talking
We'll
here?
take that. We'll take
I'll
that.
take
What we
I'll
talking
take
here?
it.
You know what I'm
I'll
saying?
take it.
So
Hell yeah.
Us as fans ain't gonna be able to notice the difference. That's still faster than I can run.
yeah, but Mike said something that was just there though that was interesting. When you think about it,
Mhm.
Patrick Mahomes literally is just now entering his prime.
Mhm.
When you think about it, like literally think about that shit. Not a
Yes.
lot of quarterbacks have done as early on, what he's done this early in his career. Most of them, this is where they start to really find themselves and start to get to that next level where he's already been at around where he's coming into now, which means that he could possibly get even better than what we've seen if the Chiefs do the right thing, of course, and fix the issues and the holes that are within this squad. But if you telling me that Patrick Mahomes could possibly get better and is really about to enter in his prime now, and they could possibly get a Tyreek Hill back at hell at 85% Tyreek Hill, that's scary. That's
I
scary.
agree.
And not to mention, before Will goes, not to mention that he could end his career now and make the Hall of Fame. The man's been to 5 Super Bowls, has won 3, has won some MVPs, has led the league in touchdowns, has led the league in yards. Like, he's already had a Hall of Fame career. And and I know we all aren't a fan, but listen, Tom Brady had a Hall of Fame career, tore his ACL in his 9th year, which is this is Mahomes, I believe, 9th year. And he came back and then went on to have 2 more Hall of Fame careers by the numbers. Like, they put him in his 20s, his 30s, and his 40s, side by side by side, and it was 3 Hall of Fame careers. So to me, Mahomes is just getting started, potentially. If, to your point, if they do the right thing.
I think it's, even with all the technology and everything like that, like I say, if he 90% of what he was, he's still gonna be a really good receiver. I don't think he ever gonna be, between age and you know what I mean, the injury and all of that, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, if he 80 to 90%, I don't think they gonna bring him in expecting him to be, like that, blow the top off the defense kind of receiver in the way that he was. I think they're gonna bring him in to be a piece. You know,
Can I ask you a quick question within your soliloquy?
go right ahead.
If they're not bringing him in per se, thinking it, could it at least be hoping just to see what Could it be hoping that he still can take the top off, like just seeing what he does in training camp and OTAs and shit like that?
I mean, I think that's what they're gonna be hoping for, but just not as their number one go-to receiver. You know what I'm saying? I think they're gonna want him to be a deeper threat, along with what I mean. What's my name, man? Named Rasheed Rice, and like, cause they got a couple of
Yeah,
young receivers that they didn't drafted recently that they
Xavier.
hoping go,
Yeah,
yeah, you know what I mean. So that's why I'm saying, like, bringing him in to be a piece, an offense that, because they like explosive plays anyway. So I just don't think they're bringing him in depending on him to be that guy, but hoping that he, just a good solid piece that works well within the offense, know the offense, you know what I mean? Gonna be able to do exactly what they need him to do. But if he do end up still being that guy like that, you know what I'm saying, even better.
I definitely agree with that, and I think it's worth a look. Like, even if it doesn't even turn out the right way, at least you're giving him the opportunity to join alongside with Patrick Mahomes again. And like we talked about last week, I kind of figured that that would be the case. They'll at least take a look because, like I mentioned, Travis Kelce probably going to retire after this season. There's a lot of speculations that they're trying to bring in another wide receiver to fit in with Rasheed Rice, because for the past couple of seasons they've been dealing with a lot of injury. We had Xavier Worthy that went out with injury. Um, I believe Schuster went out with the injury. There's a few injuries when it came down to the wide receiver spot. So to have opportunity
Hollywood
for
Brown
Travis to
too.
get back in there. What's that?
Hollywood Brown as well.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
Hollywood Brown was injured. So there's a lot of turning tables when it comes down to that wide receiver spot. So just to give Tyreek opportunity would be at least worth a try, man. And I hope he gets well soon. Gets out there and plays. Man. He's one of my favorite wide receivers. All right, so moving forward, we're going to talk about 2 NBA topics, and then we're going to get to our list. Chris Paul retiring. They announced that Chris Paul over the All Star weekend retired. Mike, what is your take on Chris Paul and his retirement?
All the teams in the league, y'all ain't right. The Clippers, y'all ain't right, especially because this man came back to finish it out with y'all, and y'all just let y'all released him or whatever, released him, and then used him as a trade. Excuse me, used him as a trade and just to get him off your books. And then the Raptors said, "Don't report. We're going to try and trade you." He gave up. He just said, "It's over. I might as well just throw in the towel." Now, I'm not saying his numbers were phenomenal or, he was playing great this season, but hell, he's been a pretty damn consistent guard for the last 21, 22 years, however long he played. So for me as a fan, I'm sad for him. But I also do understand, as I've always attained to, is that the NBA is a business, right? And business wise, it may not have made sense to pick him up just so he could retire. It may have not made mathematical or financial sense, as well as it may not have made sense for a roster. But it is so from the business standpoint, I could see that. But as a fan who's enjoyed watching him play and seeing him do things that you wouldn't believe, like that. For example, the year he went to OKC, they had a 0.2% chance of making the playoffs, and he got him there. Like he got him there. So it is sad to see, but it is I do understand. The only wish I wish that Lob City should have had at least one championship, in my opinion. But that's my
I
take
agree.
on Chris Paul.
I agree. R&B, your take on Chris Paul?
Man, I'm gonna be short. I ain't gonna go too long because I agree with a lot of sentiments that Mike just displayed in his statements, and what I'm saying, like, definitely what the Clippers did to him, a legendary point guard for this game. At the end of his career, I felt like that definitely was some whole ass shit. And what I'm saying, you don't treat your legends like that. Like he might not have a championship, but Chris Paul is a NBA legend. He's a great. He's one of the greatest point guards to ever play this game. And I think OKC owe him a ring because he was they Mark Jackson, to be honest with you. If they go on to become a dynasty and win multiple championships, I credit some of that to Chris Paul's year that he spent there helping Shea and some of those
Yeah,
other
good team.
guys that were still there develop, teaching them the way and teaching them how to get to the playoffs and shit. Like it was a point where if Chris Paul went somewhere, you knew that team was gonna fuck around and find some type of way to get into the playoffs. So like that's a testament to his knowledge of the game, how great he was as a point guard, but how great he was overall as a player. Period. So what I'm saying, I hate to see him go out like this, but I also would say check out Carmelo's podcast 7 p.m. Uh, he did All Star Weekend. He had Chris Paul on there, and they talked about it, and he told the story of how it went down and everything. So I would say go check that out. But yeah,
I
Chris
will.
Paul, man, he's great. He's a great.
Definitely. Will, your take
I
take
think
on
it's
Chris Paul?
crazy to ask, probably the greatest player in your franchise's history. It's either him or Blake, depending on how you feel about it. You know what I'm saying? To ask him for him to come to you and say, "Hey, I want to come retire here," and y'all say, "Yeah," and then y'all get mad at him for doing all the same shit that he did when he was here the last time. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all knew exactly who he was. Like they did him dirty. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. But it's It's the Clippers, man. Like the Clippers be doing Clipper shit. That's like getting mad at water for being wet. You know what I'm saying? Like seriously. No matter who the owner is, no matter who the coach is, no matter who the GM is, it's always some weird, crazy shit going on with the Clippers, right? Always. So, it's just Clippers being Clippers, man. Clippers be
Yeah,
doing Clipper shit,
I agree. They definitely clipped him. You know what I'm saying?
man.
They shortened him of his retirement, his farewell tour. You know what I'm saying? I hate everything about that. You know what? It seems
That
like the NBA hates Chris. You know what I'm saying? NBA hates Chris. It's funny because I remember they did the same shit with the Lakers. They had I remember getting a call from one of my friends. He said, "Yo, they just traded Chris Paul to the Lakers. Kobe's about to play with Chris Paul." And then I kid you not, I looked at the TV. It said it on the bottom of the screen. Chris Paul traded to the Lakers. I'm like, yo, this must be a fever dream. This is crazy, right? Because I'm like, yo, Kobe about to win another chip. Then next thing you know, I think a few hours or maybe a day later, I'm not 100% sure, but uh, uh, freaking, the NBA rescinded the trade. I'm like, yo, how the hell can they rescind the trade if it's already done? I saw it on TV. It happened. Chris Paul to the Lakers. And I feel like since that point, they've been coming after Chris Paul ever since. They even try to set him up with like the bad news Bears out there in Los Angeles with the Clippers. The Clippers was a failed franchise until Chris Paul went there. You know what I'm saying? Like we got to remember how bad that franchise was in the early 90s and 2000s. They were terrible.
In the
So
he
80s.
de- he
yeah,
definitely gave them that boost to the next level. I would say that they
yeah,
had already kind of started to turn the corner just before he got there. Because
yeah.
remember, Baron Davis was with Blake before Chris, and
That's
But
and
Barry,
facts.
they were
That's facts.
already kind of Lob City. But when Chris Paul got there, it was really Lob City. Like he took them to a
Yeah,
whole nother level.
I
He
don't
he
took them
think
took
to a
them to
whole
another
nother
level.
level.
but Baron Davis was hurt when he was there too. Like he didn't get like
Yeah,
Baron Davis,
he was
Baron
hurt a lot
Davis.
for sure.
Yeah.
But they was still we still seen some good BD and Blake
Yeah,
Griffin
Yeah.
moments though.
we did.
We've
We
seen some
did.
good BD Blake Griffin
You're
moments.
right about that. You're definitely right about that. And I totally forgot about that. My fault. But yeah, it was his
Outside of
time
the
with the
dunk
Clippers.
contest.
That's the most memorable moment. But yeah, there's been a few moments, man. I'm like, yo, I swear they just throw these terrible teams at him, and Chris Paul makes, he turns, water into wine every single time. So I don't know, man. I just feel a way about how they handled Chris Paul. I know he rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, but he didn't deserve that. And as an NBA fan, I feel like they owe him an apology, but they're never going to do it. They're never going to admit to those wrongs, just like they'll admit to most of those wrongs. But moving forward, the MVP race, gentlemen. We're going to do a quick rapid fire MVP. Who's your MVP so far for the season? We'll start for Will. Will, who do you have as the MVP and why?
Cade motherfucking Cunningham.
I second that. I second that.
Nobody thought we was gonna have the best record in the league. Nobody thought that Jaden Duran was gonna take that step like he did. Um, People thought that, you know what I mean, Jaden Ivey and his injury issues was gonna hinder us. People was worried about us not having Malik Beasley back this year. You know what I mean, and what that was gonna look like. Man, Cade got them boys running. We keep smacking the Knicks. Don't even talk to me about the Knicks no more, man. Like, we're gonna smack them by average almost 30 points. You know what I mean? Over 3 games this season. I ain't worried about Boston. Um, I Philly. You know, rolling the dice. If Embiid can stay healthy and do what he been doing, but we all know that's a big if. And I'm still not scared of them. Only team in the East that I would really, you know what I mean, feel like can give us some real smoke at this point, and they've been looking good since they traded for James Harden is Cleveland. I ain't too concerned about nobody else in the East. So K got these boys running. Uh, he out here inspiring Ant-Man. First game after the
Jesus.
All-Star game, K dropped 42
What's
on
the
the Knicks.
season series
And,
between the
and said
Detroit
he had to
Pistons and
go,
the
you know what I
Boston
mean, drop
Celtics
40
right
because he
now?
saw K do it. You know, he out here inspiring the league, man. K
That's
Cunningham, MVP.
Pistons lead the season series
that's
3-1
that's
against
fine
the
as
Boston
well.
Celtics.
R&B, who's your MVP and why?
Um, I'm gonna give you my top five.
Okay.
I got Brunson at 5. I got Joker at 4. Shea 3. K 2. Jalen Brown 1.
Wow.
But
I wasn't expecting
that's
that.
however you want to look at it. I ain't saying Will crazy for having Cade because I that's they really interchangeable for me. Like any given night because they both just going so motherfucking crazy right now. I Jalen Brown top 5 in scoring at almost 30 points a game, and he's also top 5 in defense, and he's the best two-way player in the league right now. Uh, Defensive rating. Cade is also averaging a block a game though, and from the point guard position. So it's really a toss up between them two right now. But I'm giving a slight edge right now to Jalen Brown, even though we are 3-1 against Boston. But Jalen Brown is averaging like 35 against us. Uh, so
I ain't
but
mad
right
at
along
Jalen
with Will,
Brown
I
at
ain't
all,
worried
bro.
about none of
Nah,
them.
me and I'm not mad at that at
I
all.
ain't mad at Jalen Brown at all. As somebody who thought Boston was gonna be better than everybody else thought they would, I ain't sitting here saying I thought they was gonna be number 2 in the East. You know what I'm saying? I was thinking, you know what I mean, maybe
Well, you know
maybe
me and
six
you talked
seed.
about that.
Yeah, maybe 6 seed, maybe you know what I mean,
You
play
know
in
I'm a Jalen
somewhere.
Brown guy. Yeah.
Man, nah, I definitely ain't mad at that.
Okay. Okay. And Mike, who's your MVP and why?
Um, mine's a little interchangeable. Kind of like R&B's. Um, I'm not mad at the at the Cade pick. But I can't anoint him there fully until he beats the current one. They have not played OKC yet. Um, so I'm not mad at it, but I'm not gonna go against SGA right now. Um, but Wembenyama's right there with him. We can't knock him. The Spurs have beaten OKC 3 times, and I got to put them kind of like 1A, 1B for me. But Cade's right there with them. The Joker's right there with him. And listen, Jalen Brown definitely does deserve consideration. Like, for this, just for like this team was supposed to do nothing. Zilch,
How many games
nada.
has Wemby missed?
That's Wimby,
65. 65
Joker,
Because
games
he may
Wimby,
not be
Joker, and
eligible.
what you call it, Shea are, you know what I mean, are on pace to, be in trouble of not qualifying because
Yeah.
the
Oh,
games missed.
missing games.
Because the game missed. That's why I was
Yeah.
looking up right now how many games he should have done
Mm.
missed so far this season.
So
I
Wimby,
mean, the Pistons and the Spurs play tonight. They should be just
Yeah,
getting ready to
it's
start.
halftime.
and
It's halftime
halftime,
right now.
55,
57.
57.
Yeah, Spurs.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? And that's a good battle, too, because both of those guys are definitely in the top position, but the 65 game threshold is what it is as of this season. So Jokic is like on that line. I know SGA, he got a few more games before he's on that line. Same applies with Wembyama. Wembyama, I think he's right there. Like he got like
He done
another
missed 13
20 games.
games.
Oh, he missed 13 already?
So if he misses 4 more, then
Yeah.
he can only
Which
miss
is a
4
high
more.
possibility.
He can
Yeah.
only
Which
miss
is a
4
high
more.
possibility with
Yeah.
him.
I think next season they're gonna drop that. I think they're probably gonna do 50 something because 65 is asking for a lot. And I get why they did it, but a lot of these
I don't think
a
it
lot of
is. I think it's straight just where it's at.
65.
Yeah.
Uh,
Think
well,
about it. If they put it at 55 games, that's how many games a person eligible to miss and still win the MVP. like that.
Almost 30.
22.
Almost 30 games.
Oh, well, okay, 60 games. I think 60 games is a good amount. You know,
I just say real quick though, the reason why I don't think nobody room here because they all having some outstanding seasons, but the reason why I would put Cade and Jalen Brown at the top over everybody right now amongst is because I feel like they're both right now doing the more with less.
true.
Because
And they're
the
top.
Pistons don't really
Top.
have a second a value or a true second option. It's kind of like what what we were kind of accustomed to in the old Pistons days or whatever. It's kind of like whoever got it going. Except this time we got a legit superstar, so we know it's Cade. But after Cade, it's whoever got it going. In any given night type shit. And then with Jalen Brown, we know with them missing Tatum, what I'm saying, Porzingis is no longer there. Drew Holiday is no longer there. This dude second in the East, averaging almost 30 a game. Like I said, top five offensive rating with Peyton Pritchard as the point guard. I mean, are the second. Basically, Peyton Pritchard is pretty much the third option right now behind him and Derek White. So and they balling. So
Excellent point. All right. Last topic, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Our top 10 point guards. Is that correct?
Yes,
That is
sir.
correct.
Okay. So we're all gonna go 1 through 10. Who wanna go
quick
first?
question.
Go for it.
I'll go first, but quick question. Does anybody have any honorable mentions?
Yes.
I have
Yes.
two.
Yes.
All right.
Get them out the way.
So I'll go first and then I'll get my honorable mentions. D Rose, Penny, Luca, Kyrie, Dennis Johnson. 5 honorable mentions. I'm gonna be honest with my first 2 spots. I'm doing me. I'm cheating a little bit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But at 10A, 10B, I have Chauncey Billups and Tony Parker.
Okay.
Mike, you
I
go ahead.
also have 4 honorable mentions. 2 of them could surprise you a little bit, but I got a little bit of respect in here. Penny Hardaway, Dennis Johnson, Chris Paul, and Steve Nash are my honorable
Whoa.
mentions.
You said honorable mentions?
Yes.
Not on your list?
I gotta hear this
Not
top
on my
10.
Wait a minute. Say those one more time for me, Mike. My bad.
Hardaway, Johnson, Nash, and Chris Paul.
Oh, that's kind of cold, man.
Johnson who?
Okay.
What Johnson?
Kevin
Dennis Johnson.
Kevin
Oh,
KJ?
Dennis Johnson. Okay.
Yeah,
Dennis Johnson. Okay.
Dennis Johnson.
All right.
My
All right.
number 10 is also a tie. It's a tie. Two current players as well. But one-time MVP, 2-time scoring champion, 9-time All-Star, Russell Westbrook, and one-time champ, 9-time All-Star, Kyrie.
Okay. Well, any honorable mentions?
Yeah. Hold on, I'm give me 1 second. I got a gang of honorable mentions too. Like y'all about to be real mad at me. My bad. I'm just entering this data real quick. Okay, so my honorable mentions are Big Shot, fuck DJ, because fuck Boston, KJ, Penny, Tiny Archibald, Walt Frazier, Stephon Marbury, Baron Davis, Tim Hardaway, Luca. He ain't here yet, but he gonna be there one day. James Harden and Russell Westbrook. Oh, and D Rose. Those are my honorable mentions. My number 10 is still a fucking tie in spite of the fact that I just named 30 point guards.
That is crazy.
At number 10, I have Chris Paul and John Stockton. Chris Paul, their games didn't look alike, but career-wise, they remind me a lot of each other. super high level with the longevity for for a really, really long time. Also too though, Chris Paul, young Chris Paul, before he had the knee injuries when he was still with the Hornets in New Orleans, I was nervous for a little while that he might end up being better than Isaiah because he was going crazy and he got right to feel like he should have won MVP one of them years. I think that was like '06 or '05, one of them Nash MVP years. But yeah, I got Chris Paul and John Stockton at 10.
Okay. My number 10, since he's retired, no honorable mentions, by the way, but I got my number 10 is Chris Paul. All right. Since I went last, I'll go again. My number 9 is Chauncey Billups. Can't deny that. Finals MVP. You know, he did his thing with every team he played on. The Nuggets, the Knicks, even when he was healthy with the Knicks, I should say. Yeah, so Chauncey Billups, even though he be gambling now, so I still love him. But I still respect him. He's a top 10.
Oh man, my number 9 is very respected player, one-time champ, 9-time All-Star, 9-time All Defensive Team is the glove, Gary Payton.
Okay.
My number 9 is gonna be a tie. This is the last tie. I also have Gary Payton at 9A, and 9B would be Russell Westbrook.
Okay.
At number 9, I have Kyrie.
Okay.
Respect it.
We at number 8 now, right?
Yeah.
Did you gave your number 9?
Yeah, I gave my number 9 first.
Okay.
My number 8 is Russell Westbrook. You know, MVP. I don't need to say much about anything else, but Mr. Triple Double himself, Russell Westbrook.
Okay.
My number 8 is gonna be John Stockton.
Wow.
One time assist leader, steals leader, point guard. Always was said that could have been a more of a scorer had he chosen to, but he just liked to pass the ball, but could score when he wanted to. John Stockton at number 8.
I got
Number
Steve
8.
Nash.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're good. Go ahead.
At number 8, I have Steve Nash.
Okay. Number 8 for me, 4-time champ, 6-time All-Star. Can't deny him. Tony Parker.
You said what number are we at? So 7 now, right?
Now we're on 7.
Okay. Number 7, I got KJ. I got Kevin Johnson. You know, I remember him playing with the Sun. He's one of the best in the game, 4-time All NBA, one of the best guards out in the 90s. Kevin Johnson, that's my guy.
Number 7 for me is going to be the MVP bandit himself, Steve Nash.
Wait, why he gotta be the bandit though?
He ain't deserving either one of them MVPs. I'm a Steve Nash fan. But he didn't.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm enough of a Steve Nash fan to say that even without those MVPs, I still would put him where I put him.
Yeah,
they help bolster his argument a little bit, but I still would put him. He was a great point guard for sure. He definitely one of the greatest point guards of all time. But those MVPs is like asterisks.
No, people
There was a lot of
talk
shit
about him
going
like
on
he
in the
made.
league.
People talk about him like he made Amari and Joe Smith and Barbosa and everybody, and Matrix. Like, no, it was talent on that team. They had a lot of injuries the season before, And then he
Which is
showed
why
up
they
and
brought him
maximized.
in.
Yeah. And got rid of Steph.
They knew he was going, they
Yeah.
knew he was going to do what he did in Dallas, which is, spread that bitch around.
Right.
We know Steph was hard in it.
Yeah. Most definitely. Still my
All right.
guy though.
What number we at now? We at
We're still
7.
on 7.
Okay.
Mike, did you
7.
give yours?
Yeah, my number 8 was Peyton, Gary Payton.
No, no,
Oh,
7.
number 7.
We on
I
7.
mean,
7.
Tony. Or no, we're on. Sorry, it was actually Tony Parker. Number 7. We're on 7 now.
Yeah.
Okay. One-time champion, 10-time All-Star, Jason Kidd.
Okay.
At number 7, I got Nick Van Exel. Fucking
All
with
right.
Ryan. No, just fucking with Ryan. Number 7.
You see my head. He see me. He see it. You got me. You got me.
Y'all know I got to throw up Van Exel joke in every chance I get because he was hating on my boy. Even though Steve Nash just was on the bench in a lot of fourth quarters because Van Exel was going crazy in Dallas, but that's another conversation for another day. My number 7 is Dame Dollar.
Okay. We're at number 6, right?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
All right. Number 6, I gotta give it to one of my favorite point guards of all time. I wish I could put him higher, but I can't because there's too many others that are a little bit better than him, and that's Penny Hardaway, number 6.
That's kind of high, but because it's Penny, I respect it. But that's kind of high only because of the injuries.
Yeah,
But
if he played a little bit longer and didn't have those injuries, I'll definitely put him in a better place.
Number 6, I have Jason Kidd.
Okay. Number 6, I got Walt Frazier.
I had somebody put him on their list. Like I said, he was in my honorable mention, so I thought about him. Number 6, I have Big O, Oscar Robertson.
Okay, we're number 5.
Yes,
Yep.
sir.
All right, number 5, one of the best two-way guards in the game of all time. I got to give it to the glove, Gary Payton, number 5.
Number 5 for me. We've talked about him a lot today during this episode. I have to put the point guard himself, Chris Paul.
Okay.
Dude is definitely. I feel like when it comes to the point guard conversation, I think his resume stacks up there with the best of them. Only thing he's missing is the championship, and I think we all kind of agree that the NBA robbed him of that because you ain't gonna tell me him and Kobe would have got at least one.
Exactly.
So
At least. Maybe even 2, bro.
Yep. Exactly.
So at that point in time, anyway. But yeah, Chris Paul, man, like he the OG point guard.
Yep.
Number 5, I got y'all boy, 2-time champion Isaiah Thomas.
So disappointed in you.
Yeah.
But you know what,
Listen,
guys?
a lot of people don't would respectfully not even put him in there. He gets overlooked a lot by a lot of people I talk to. So the fact that he's even there at 5 is a lot higher than most, at least people in the NY, because they don't be knowing.
Man, I wouldn't even talk basketball with those people.
Yep.
At 5, I had where you at? Oh, GP. Yeah, I had GP the glove. 5.
Okay.
We on 4, Raj.
All right. Number 4. Even though he did steal those MVPs, but I still respect his game. He did out there in Dallas. Got to give it to my man Steve Nash. Number 4.
Even though he did steal them MVPs as well.
We know what happened. We know he didn't deserve not one of them damn things.
He did, but what I will say is the only reason he's further down my list is because I feel like he should have won with the talent that he did have.
That's a good point. That's a fair point.
Couldn't beat San Antonio.
I
So
don't,
you
don't,
know,
I don't, hey,
Deserves
look, I don't be wanting to hear about no hip check, man.
He just couldn't beat San Antonio.
Get your punk ass up.
Exactly.
Number 4 for me.
They weren't they weren't no damn defenders. Like that was like that's why he down the list for me too. Like
Yep.
he was quote unquote the franchise player, and he didn't play no defense, and none of the rest of them did either.
Nah, but that one series, Amari was out there giving Tim Duncan like 35 a game, you know,
Yeah,
and making it look
he
easy.
was. What was that shit? 5 seconds or less, or something like that.
7 seconds or less.
Tony, 7 seconds or less.
7-second shot clock.
Mhm.
Number, we're on what, 4?
Yeah,
Yep.
number 4.
Yeah.
This man was a little lower on y'all list because of his lack in scoring. But the fact that you set the all-time assist record and still lead the league all-time in steals, and it still ain't been broken, number 4 for me is respectable. Wish you would have got that championship, John Stockton.
That record is never going to be broken. Nobody ever breaking that record.
Which is
I do
neither
not
one.
respect
I
your
remember when Nash was on his way out, they had said that he needed to average 13.5 assists for however many games he had left, and he couldn't miss any. And he had to get at least 13 to 14 a game to beat it. That wasn't happening.
Shit. Before the season started, they said LeBron would have to average like 10 a game for 3 more seasons. You know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy, bro. And LeBron is already like what, 5th on the list or something like that, 4th on the list somewhere like that.
Just had it up.
Man. At number 4, I have J Kidd, probably
Okay.
the best point guard I've seen at elevating all of the time. When they talk about making the players better around you, probably the best I've seen at that part.
Got you.
To answer, yes, LeBron is 4th on the list, all-time assist.
All right, at number 4, I have the big O Oscar Robertson, the originator of the triple double himself.
Number 3, I got J Kidd.
Number 3 for me.
Oh, go ahead.
Number 3 for me, 2-time MVP, 4-time champion, all-time 3-point leader. Y'all know who it is. Steph Curry.
Is he a point guard though?
I share the same sentiment. Number 3, Steph Curry.
To me, he is.
I definitely think he is.
I think he a point guard, but I can only also view you for what you listed as, and they list him as the point guard.
That's kind of how I try to do it, is how he's listed.
I know every point guard don't always play like a point guard, but I think Steph play like a point guard. It's just a different style.
I feel like the point guard's job is to create open looks and better shots for his teammates. And Steph does that, not only passing, because he's going to get you 6-7 assists a game, but also his gravity when he moving off the ball. You know what I'm saying? Create shots for his teammates. So, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, he a point guard. He don't do it the exact same way a lot of people do it, but he definitely a point guard. Number 3, I got my hero, Isaiah Lord Thomas III.
I feel bad.
Okay.
You know what? I'm gonna say this. I should have put him as honorable mention. My fault.
It's all good.
Number 2, right? We're at number 2.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Number 2, and this was hard because both of these guys are my favorite point guards. Number 1 and number 2 that I'm about to mention. But number 2, I gotta go with it. Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson is my number 2.
At number 2, I have Magic Johnson as well.
Number 2, I have Oscar Robinson.
At number 2, I have, as much as it pain me to say this out loud, I have Steph Curry, one spot ahead of Isaiah Thomas.
Okay. Number one, I got the greatest point guard to ever point guard, and that's John Stockton.
I thought you said hit us with some bullshit like Andre Miller.
Wait, hold on, Raj. You be current with all of your lists that we do, and today you decide to go get John Stockton podcast and put him at 1.
Number 1, he's the best point guard to pass the ball.
Of all people. And you didn't have Isaiah. You didn't have Isaiah on your list. Oh, brother.
You know what? I was going to put
at
Isaiah
number 1,
in that list.
At number 1, I have Isaiah Thomas.
Okay. I respect. Look, you got to understand. Growing up in New York, Isaiah Thomas was one of the point guards we didn't want to see.
Bro, no. That has nothing to do with it.
It's my list, guys.
Bro, look, you know I be having your back usually. I'll be on your side, bro. Like, I might not agree with it, but it's his list, bro. And it's fucking Stockton. I know y'all know I hate Boston. Listen, I know y'all know I hate Boston.
Number 1 and not have Isaiah Thomas on the list, and then Mike to have Isaiah Thomas on the list under John Stockton. Blasphemy.
Mike, did you give us your number 1?
On the list.
That's
blasphemy.
True.
That's proof that New York people don't respect Isaiah Thomas. It's right there. I just showed it to you in real time.
I put you. It's no slight. I'm telling you. I promise you. I got love for Isaiah Thomas.
It's jealousy because y'all wish that y'all could have did what we did when we played physical that y'all couldn't do playing physical.
They tried it. It just ain't work. They tried it. It just ain't work for them. They let Mike and Scotty punk them.
Not only that,
they didn't have Isaiah.
I'm gonna leave y'all with this. Not only that, when he came to New York as the coach, he destroyed the Knicks. Absolutely.
Man, the Knicks was ass before he got there.
They were ass before he. Hold on, no, fuck that, because I ain't about to let you do Isaiah like that. They were ass before he got there, and the franchise did not know the things to do to build around having him as the head man in charge. When Isaiah Thomas was there, he drafted y'all some talented players. Mm-hmm. Y'all didn't do shit with those players after you fired them either.
How did that turn out?
Some of those players went on to have great careers. Eddie Curry definitely had a nice little 2-3 year run where he was one of the best big men in the league, and his heart problems took him out. That's Isaiah Thomas drafted Eddie Curry to the New York Knicks. Like
no. Eddie Curry got drafted by the Bulls. They got traded to the Bulls. Man, Isaiah brought Zach Randolph over there. Isaiah drafted Trevor Ariza. Isaiah drafted David Lee. Like Isaiah was
draft. What's that little short motherfucker that was winning the dunk contest?
Nate Robinson.
Oh, Nate Robinson.
Didn't he draft Nate Robinson?
Okay. Yeah. Yes, he did. He did. He got Zach Randolph, Fred Jones, a few others that basically he brought over from Portland. But what I'm saying is this: Jared Jeffries he had on the team. But here's the deal.
Solid.
let's keep it a stack. And I'm not blaming all on
I think he
Isaiah
drafted
because that's
Channing
not
Frye.
fair. That's not fair. Yeah,
You're right.
Shannon Fry. Shannon Fry was actually nice later on. They should have kept
Y'all
him.
had some. All of those players
Nah,
went
they
on to
should.
win championships or have solid careers as role players.
Yeah, especially Zach Randolph. Zach Randolph, I think, had the most legendary career as a 2010 guy. But with that being said, that damn scandal that he had out here too didn't put
Oh man,
anything. You know what I'm saying? Like let's go there. Let's go there. Okay, because he was on
Wait a minute,
everything.
wait a minute. Y'all owner tried to get Charles Oakley beat up at a Knicks home game, bro. Come on, man. James Dolan is the problem, not
Nah,
Isaiah
he is the
Thomas,
problem.
bro.
He is the problem. He is the problem.
Look, Isaiah drafted
And
well in Toronto. He brought talent in when he was in Indiana. He brought talent in when he was with the Knicks. And Larry Bird, the team that he put together in Indiana, Larry Bird took them to the Eastern Conference Finals.
he
You
did.
know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Like,
he did. But it's
hey,
just a
Mike,
long
did you give us your number one? My bad, bro. Did you give us your number one?
Nah, but I'm sure y'all already know who it is. Y'all already know who it is because I didn't name him. You know,
Steph?
Steph was number 3. 3-time MVP, 5-time champion, 6'9". Just amazing. Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson, yeah.
Oh, I thought you said he was number 2.
No,
that was me.
two was Robinson.
Oh, okay.
I
got
put
you.
Magic number 2.
That too, yeah.
All right. Well, that was a good list, fellas. What list are we doing next week? We said
let's take it up a notch and go up one spot to the 2.
All right, the 2. Okay. Small shooting guard. No problem. We'll do shooting guard next week. Is there anything you guys want to cover real quick before we close out?
Will's probably adding up the numbers first.
Are we doing something this Sunday or?
Yeah, I'm free at that time. Did we decide on the time? 11, 12, 11:30?
I'm cool with 11. I'm cool.
So we'll do 11.
I just threw noon out there. I just threw it out there or whatever, but I'm cool with 11.
11's good with me. We'll do 11 o'clock.
Okay.
All right.
Girl, you wanna come to my hotel? Baby, I will give you my room key. I'm feeling the way you're loving yourself, girl. And I wanna get with you because you're the cutie.
We don't want to get hit with a copyright strike. So that
What is say anything more than 5 seconds? They're gonna be sending. They're gonna ASCAP gonna be coming after
they're
us.
gonna ASCAP us to death. They're gonna hit us with the BMI. They're gonna hit us with it. But no, appreciate everyone watching the show. You know, we had a great time talking about these great things, man. You know, there's a lot of good games happening right now. The Spurs are beating the Pistons 81-72. It's still some time. 3 minutes left in the third quarter. So we'll see what happens. But I appreciate everyone out there watching. Appreciate you gentlemen for coming on. All right. We'll see everybody next week on Sunday at 11.
Yes, sir. All
Peace.
right. Sounds good. All right. Peace.
All right, now. Peace out, fellas. Fuck John Stockton.
Oh my God.
All right, Mike. I hope you feel better, brother.
Appreciate it, bro.
Take care of yourself.
You too, bro. Hi. This thing.
Yo, how fun it says you fucking